This is Mr. Fatta, and in today's FattaCast, I'm going to show you how I could draw these two lamps here and make one look like it's in front of the other by lightly sketching the shapes slightly over each other and then shading it, and then drawing one object a little higher up on the picture than the other so it looks like it's further away, and then shading it with a variety of values, particularly using a gradient to show the object's form. Okay, to start, I'm going to sketch out this trapezoid. It's a symmetrical object, so I do like to get a line of symmetry in there. I'm just going to lay out the first one here. Now, it's a good idea to measure this out so you could get an idea of how big the objects are supposed to be. That one. And now the other object here appears to overlap like right under here. Like this might be a little wider. Might need to extend that a little bit. And then the other lampshade is overlapping right here in this corner. So this corner is where all the action is on the overlapping aspect of it. Something like this. I'm drawing sketchy light. So that's supposed to be a symmetrical object also. And again, I might use my pencil as a measuring device. I figure it's about half and half. So you got this circle here, and this one pretty much like a full circle. Okay, like that. And then that means it's going to be about that high here. So there's that. I also want to watch this space in here. Like I want to watch this, what we call negative space. It's the space that is around object. So if this shape here looks similar to this shape here, then I'm finding accuracy. Here too, I'm looking at this space in between the lamps and noticing that they're fairly similar to each other. Okay. I guess this lamp is a little wider because I don't really see this part there. Okay. And then that's there. Okay, I think it's going to be something like that. Okay, so there's the overlapping part. Now, I'm really just kind of using the skills that I picked up in the last several assignments. Right, for one, I'm going to shade find the dark areas of the object, and I see right here on this side here, there's this crescent shape that's on the circle. And it fades out. So if you could practice that fading out. And remember, let the pencil get dull so that it leaves a nice wide line to it. The shading doesn't look like lines. Okay. And you could just do the dark areas first. So I'll leave that alone for now. And now, there's this lamp here. Again, let that get nice and dull. And it's darker right here in this middle section here. The bottom is actually catching some light that's getting reflected from the table. And I'm trying to go in the direction of the lamp. Like I'm trying to follow the contour. The contour is the outside edge. I'm also letting my pencil, what I refer to as like flying off the object, off the paper rather. So I'm starting on the object and letting it flick off. Okay, so it's not, I don't have the back and forth motion, particularly when I'm trying to fade it out. I'm trying to fade it out. It's good not to have the back motion because then you get what some artists call them start and stops. The start and stop is when you see this little pattern up here. So by flicking it off, when you're doing your gradient, it'll prevent you from, it'll help prevent the start and stops. Now it's pretty light under there because obviously the lamp is on. to refine the bottom here, I'm going to kind of flatten this. I made it a little too round on the bottom. And so this is the cast shadow. And now I'm just going to kind of fade that out a little bit. And it's starting to come in. You can see the form starting to pull, starting to create a form here. This will be, oh, I smudged that out with my hand. I try not to do that so much. But. And then this one here, this is the light from the lamps. And this is an oval here. And it's good to go horizontally. Me going up like that isn't as helpful as going back and forth, because then you could emphasize the horizontal of the table. And there's some other little shadows here because there's two light sources. So there's actually two ovals. There's the oval from this lamp, from the lamp itself. And then there's the shadow from this light hitting this object. Okay, and same thing here. I could even see like there's some shadow here from the little lamp creating this shadow here. So this is the cast shadow, and you'll see that on the rubric. So that's that part. And now really the next part is really, I don't want to say trickiest, but it's the lampshades and the background. Okay, so the shade should be curved on the bottom. Look how wide my line is right now. Okay, so it's good, so I could shade a little smoother. Okay. All right, so the tops and the bottoms of that seems to have a lighter piece to it. So now I want this to fade upward. So again, I'm going to lift the pencil off as I shade. So it's lighter in the middle. That's what obviously the bulb is. I could just go from dark to light. I do notice it's slightly lighter on the very bottom. So I might try to land and lift off. And now the top. And I'm fanning out the shade so it's following the contour of the piece. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, here, it's not so dark right there. It's actually pretty light. There's some kind of light catching there. And I squint often. It's good to squint at the picture. I see that this is actually darker than the lampshade behind. So I'm going to go ahead and darken that a little bit to create light here. And if I squint at this little lamp, I can see it's actually lighter than the other one. But on the top, okay, I'm putting my pencil on the line, pausing for a second, and then flicking it out. This way I don't come out. I don't have a bunch of marks coming out of the lampshade. So it's a kind of a new technique I'm showing you there. The flicking off. Now there's a slight detail here. There's like this little seam. Right, details are good to incorporate into it. There's this little seam here. Okay, if I squint at this, I could see that this is actually darker right here, but then this light is shining on this. But it's darker right here. Okay, so now there's the lamps, and now to create the lamp, to make the lamp appear like it's on, now I have to shade the background. Now, I don't have to shade the whole piece of paper here because that could take a long time. Let the pencil get nice and dull and try to get nice smooth shades while not showing a line. So I'm going back and forth fast and darkening next to the object as much as I can, and then getting it to fade out so I don't have to carry that darkness all the way around it. Get in here. Okay, see how wide my pencil line is now. And again, you don't have to shade the whole paper. We just need it to kind of make a somewhat of a frame here, like just let it fade out a little bit. Do the same up here. And using that dull side of my pencil, fly out off the page. You get that fade out, this little kind of cloudy, feathered edged effect on the top there. And I can go back and forth a little bit as long as I'm not making too many smush marks or odd areas. Oh, I got pretty dark there, so I guess I gotta fade that out now. Okay. The more contrast I can create next to the lamp, the lighter and brighter the lamp will appear. Again, this technique I'm using here is holding my pencil the same position, so it's giving me a wide line, and then from that edge, I'm pushing down firmly, letting it fly upward. Once I'm away from the object, I can kind of just do my back and forth motion instead. Under here, it's not really as dark. And I just want to square this background off a little bit. Smoothing things out. I'll take another peek there. There's a little shading inside here. Just a little bit there. Okay. And I'm just going to get close to the lamp there. And there I have it. I think that'll do for now. All right. I have the lamps shaded in. I mean, this has a little shading here. It's a little darker than the background, so maybe I'll add a little bit more here. I smudged this out a little bit, so I might darken this a little bit here. And sometimes you'll hear me say, darken your darks. And that's what I could do here. Just kind of darken these darks a little bit. All right, there you have it, everybody. I can draw two lamps and make them appear to overlap each other by slightly drawing one shape on top of the other, and then drawing the back object a little higher up on the picture so it looks further away, then shading it in with a variety of values while using gradients to get the shading to fade out. Tune in next time. That's our FattaCast for today. Tune in next time.